What is up, guys? Mr. E here, today with a fun build. This is a build that is going to be focused around doing some rocket launcher shenanigans. I saw how good the rocket launcher has been made, and I thought to myself, man, what if I made a build that was just like solely focused around juicing the rocket launcher to the absolute max? And that's what we've got here today. We are, of course, using the bolt pistol to accomplish those goals, and if you have no idea how that helps the rocket launcher, well, then you should definitely stick around. I mean, everyone should stick around, but you should definitely stick around and watch the rest of the video. Like and subscribe so you can catch more interesting builds from the channel. Let's go on here and talk about the weapons. We're starting off with the bone saw. The bone saw has a couple of very useful effects for us here. Not only can it apply that green toxin stuff to enemies, which will help burn them down over time, and it will give us cooldown back on our stims, but it can also apply that purple toxin effect when you use the weapon special to swap the type, and that will cause the target that is hit by that to take up to 20% additional damage, which applies to all targets, and that is very, very impactful because we can use that to multiply the damage that we, as well as other members of our team, deal to bosses, etc. Now, as far as stats, max everything except for mobility. Then for perks, Carapace Unyielding, Blessings, Shred, and Refine Lethality. Shred is going to be very important here. We want to hit a high crit rate on pretty much everything in this class, but this weapon specifically, or this time around specifically, we are using hypercritical. We are a mainly ranged build, but it's nice to be able to have hypercritical because we will just be able to cull really annoying enemies like ragers and maulers that are going to come at you and be in close range. And you know, sometimes it's just so hard and annoying to try to shoot them with your bolt pistol, so you just hit them once or twice with the bone saw and then they die. Good enough. Then we get onto the bolt pistol here, and let's start to explain why the bolt pistol is actually really cracked on this class. First of all, this class has infinite ammo, so the one downside, or one of the downsides of the bolt pistol, is that it has a low ammo capacity. You'll use it all in the blink of an eye, but this class doesn't care about that. Then the other thing is that it has this talent called Deadly Accurate, 100% plus 100% double damage on critical weak spots, which if we inspect the weapon, you can see here, a critical weak spot does over 1,000 damage already, more than double what its default value is, and that means that we can double that double and hit for about 2,000 damage, and that's before any other multipliers go into effect. So when I am all stimmed up and ready to go, and I hit, if I'd actually hit the crit on the freaking Reaper there for the demonstration, one of these times it'll work. Wow, that was close. Yeah. Once you have some damage stacked up and stuff, if I was under the effects of any other buffs for my team, that guy dies in one hit, no problem. And I mean, that's just a tremendous amount of damage, even if he doesn't die in one hit, right? So you can do some really absurd damage just left clicking with this thing and shooting for heads because of those crits and that crit ratio. So that's why we like that. The other reason we like this for is lethal proximity. And as I said, this was my go-to as soon as I was like, I gotta make a rocket launcher build. The reason you use bolt pistol with rocket launcher or with any explosive based build is because of this blessing, lethal proximity, which gives you point blank shots causing explosion. That's the boring part, but the exciting part is explosion radius is increased by 25%. This applies whether you have the weapon currently in your hand or not. It can be in your holster, you can have your melee out, or you can even have neither out and just be on your grenade entirely. And all of those will get an extra 25% explosion radius. And what this does for the rocket launcher is basically the rocket launcher has 3 different damage zones. One is the direct target that it hits. So whatever target you hit directly, by the way, that is locationally based. So shooting this Chaos Spawn in the face will deal more than shooting him in the body. Then there's a close radius around it that does immense damage that'll kill most crushers, but it's kind of a narrow radius. And then there's a large radius, a large perimeter around that hits and kills many lesser enemies. So what this blessing does for us is it extends both of those radii by 25%, which means that the area of those circles is much larger. I don't know what the fucking math is there, but yeah, it allows you to shoot over here and kill the crusher instantly over there. It allows you to shoot here and just kill everybody in that massive horde. Yeah, it makes the blast an absolute nuclear bomb, and it's very fun. So we come down here and and by the way, mobility dump and then everything else maxed. Down here, let's go for some toughness and then some stamina. The stamina is just going to be nice to help us keep our stamina high for blocking and shoving in combat, as well as sprinting around and sliding, and it also gives us about 6% attack speed, or actually exactly 6% attack speed. Now, as far as, actually I should just swap this with one of my other Curios. I still need to test and make certain that this 400 stamina thing is not bugged, but then we have also got some perks down here. We want to go for combat ability regen, then stamina regen, and probably toughness additionally. You could also go for some ally revive speed if you really want. Over here on the Stimm lab, we want to go with this red side up here for the extra damage and then go more crit. This is just simply because critting is very, very good and synergizes well with lots of stuff we're doing on this build. This also is probably the most general good damage buff you can give most other classes. 15% crit on top of 20% damage is a lot of damage. Critting is a really huge damage spike for many classes, and they want that more crits, so let's provide this to everybody, because we are, of course, using Stimm supply. The reason we're not taking anything else is we want to keep our cooldown for our Stimm relatively low for the Stimm supply. Down here we've got In Your Face, Voice of Tertium, Precision Violence, Speed Loader, Burst of Energy, Flow Like Butterfly, and Sticky Hands. You can see we're taking a lot of stuff up the top here, and this is because there is a lot of utility up here, and we are going kind of equally into both ranged and melee. All of these talents, barring these two, are kind of like, and this one I guess, are kind of like fluid and can be played both ways, and this is what keeps you relatively flexible. You can engage at range, which is going to be the majority of your damage, but if things getting close to you, you're not defenseless. You still have things like Float Like a Butterfly and Precision Violence to recoup your toughness and to hurt them very badly, and then of course you've got buffs down here that can help with that as well. We come down here and go Boombringer, which is, you know, the focus of the build, I suppose. Gang Tough, Slippery Customer, Tis But a Scratch, Anarchist, Toughness Boost, and then Stimm Supply. And here is the trick with Stimm Supply, guys. Right now, and this might change in the future, you can simply use your Stimm first, and then you can drop the Stimm Supply. So once you have that up, you can use your purple on a boss like this and get him all dotted up, and then shoot him in the head with the rocket launcher for about almost 22,000 damage. So big wallops out of that, and of course, being buffed up with these stims like that is going to give you 20% extra damage on, well, even one stim is 20%. If you drop your own stim and then stand in your kit after the fact, you have 40% extra damage, which applies to your rocket launchers, which means that everything is uber duper dead. I don't know if that's a phrase at all. Let's come over here. By the way, practice deployment is the thing that's kind of like causing this. The reason we want our Stimm cooldown to be so low is because of that practice deployment. It allows us to get our Stimm back that much faster. Whenever our Stimm comes back, that is when also our supply kit comes back. Let's go on and go further here. We come down here and we go for extra pouches for 4 rockets instead of 3. Sample collector, which is one reason why we're using this this sword, is so we can get extra samples and get more cooldown back for our Stimm, and then maxed out chems and chem enhance for that extra crit and extra cooldown. Over here, punching above one's weight for more damage on the targets that don't die instantly. And out here on this side, we've got ourselves that crit chance boost, then swift endurance, thanks to our stamina curio and the base stamina on the class. This is about 14% melee attack speed, which is very comfortable. Having that boost to melee attack is great. Then sweet spot, both the bone saw and the bolt pistol really love weak spot damage. This gives them a lot of extra potential. And then hypercritical here, which allows us just to cull really annoying targets like these guys that would otherwise need multiple hits. You can just drop them in one with this. Even on a non-melee focused build, we can just drop them in one single hit, which is just nice to get rid of them, get them out, you know, just get the fuck out of my face. You're dead, done. That's how you want to deal with the enemies with hypercritical like that. And then finally, pickpocket out here, which just gives us infinite ammo. So instead of ever engaging, we can just go around all day just shooting. Now, as far as how to shoot with the bolt pistol, by the way, the tendency might be to scope down like this, guys, but as you shoot, it tends to like push your aim off to the side, and I really don't like that very much. Personally, I stay in hipfire most of the time because wherever your reticle is pointed on your screen, that is where the bullets will go. So when it gives you the recoil, just reposition the reticle and shoot again. So yeah, it's much easier for me personally just to reposition that reticle than it is to work with the iron sights and have to play with the gun getting back to position in the center of the screen. So that's just a recommendation. I hope you guys have a good time, fun time with it. It's a strong build. It'll definitely clean up everything through Auric and definitely into Havoc as well. Because, I mean, yeah, good stats all around. And yeah, have a good one, guys. Bye.
Looking for easy pay! Let's deal! Be back!
together.
Oh, we have a healing kit. Let's just use the healing kit. It's the end of the game, so.